Getting close to the final stretch. Here goes. In 20th place is the first Camellia album after that just ridiculous streak in episode 2, Terra I.O. Now, it's not saying much, but this is one of Camellia's most consistent albums. I like pretty much every song in it, which is, new. And it's really good. It's really good. It delves into a lot of new territory for Camellia. It's got this cinematic rock track, this lyrical track, and steampunk, which I think he'd only done once before in Black Magic Blazing. And those three are some of the best tracks on the album, so that's a good bonus. If you like Camellia's music, and you liked any of the other albums that I've mentioned of his already, or you just like the rest of the ranking and want a place to start with Camellia, this is a really great one to go for. It's got a lot of variety, it's a lot of fun, and it's some of his best work. And taking 19th is one of my hotter takes, but it's still, I will stand by this forever. I'll stand by this one. It's Safe Travels by Jukebox the Ghost. This album is just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It was one of my top 5 albums for quite a while, and to be fair, that was deserved. It's got these brilliant tracks about just a bunch of emotionally powerful stuff. Obviously, it's got love songs. They're not really cringy love songs normally. Some of them actually are, but they're done well. It's poppy piano rock with lyrics about things that should be generic, but then they just don't feel it. It feels really nice and wholesome, and sometimes not wholesome, but I don't really know where I'm going with this. This is a hot take. I don't know why I like this album so much, really. What I do know is that it has some genuinely beautiful tracks on it, a ton of emotion, and I love this album. I love this album, and I will stand by it. And in 18th place is Agatha by Psy, who is an artist that you definitely have not seen the last of on this ranking. They change. It's night now. I got really tired after the last one. Anyway, Agatha is, it's the first artcore album on this ranking, and it's just really good artcore, which is good because artcore is one of my favourite genres. That helps. It's a great album. Title track's absolutely heavenly. Zalbakugel has some really cool jazzy vibes. That's fun. The fact that this is my least favorite artcore album on this list does say something about how good artcore is. But also, this album slaps. Totally go listen to it. And in 17th place is an album that I only listened to recently, but I've been listening to songs from it for years. The Book by Yoasobi. It's a short album. They call it an EP. I disagree. It's 7 songs long. That's not an EP. That's an album. Is it? No, it's 9 songs. Wait, what am I talking? Yeah, it's 9 songs. That's an album. I don't care. But anyway, it's amazing J-pop. That all of the songs are great. Every song's a banger. Into the Night and Tracing a Dream do carry hard, though. Like really hard. Those are some of my favorite songs, and then the rest are all just good songs. So it's those carry really hard, and if they weren't in there, then it would be quite a bit lower, but it's still a banger album. And in 16th place is the second Psy album on this ranking, Perusia. This is a really mixed bag of an album, to be honest. It's got tracks that range from Beatrice, which I would say sounds like elevator music, or actually no, it's more like the kind of stuff that you'd hear in a posh cafe or something, which isn't great. But it ranges to Freedom Dive, which is my 3rd favorite piece of music ever written. Mixed bag. However, most of the songs are closer to Freedom Dive. There are only a few male ones. And this album did kind of define artcore, to be honest. So there's that. Good album. It's got a good range of Psy music, different styles, worth a listen if you want to start getting into artcore, I think, personally, And taking 15th place is one of the most integral albums to my music taste, and my 2nd most streamed album of all time. The First Glass Beach album by Glass Beach. It's just a beautiful exploration of the life, honestly, of the lead singer, Jay, and it really is. It's beautiful. every song is home to the note. The interludes are perfectly placed while they're, you know, not things I would listen to on their own. It's all built to make the exact thing that Glass Beach wanted, and it does it perfectly. I mean, it covers some really rough topics: suicide, love, transgenderism, abuse, all of that kind of just thrown in there, and it does it really, really well. It's also pretty genre-defying. I mean, it is punk at the end of the day, but it doesn't feel like it often. There's a lot of, I guess, more, you know, you've got a bit of pop, you've got a bit of jazz thrown in there. It's, you know, not all just generic punk. You've got the interesting stuff, and yeah, beautiful, beautiful album. Honestly, it's probably objectively like top 5, but I like 14 of these albums more than it, so sucks to be you, Jay. And in 14th place is probably the most consistently just top tier rock album that I've ever listened to, Sam's Town by The Killers. This one's just stellar. It's definitely the most fun of the Killers albums, also the most consistent. There are only 2 tracks on this that aren't amazing. It's basically just Hot Fuss but better, to be honest. Because Hot Fuss has a lot of dud tracks, well, a lot of tracks that aren't really as good as the others and that aren't absolutely brilliant. And Sam's Town is just incredible all the way through. Literally 2 tracks, Uncle Johnny and My List, aren't like top tier. So yeah. Awesome rock album. If you like mainstream rock and want a recommendation and somehow haven't already listened to this masterpiece, then this is the best I've got for you, I think. And in 13th place is an album that I didn't really have high expectations for when it came out. And I listened to it for the first time and I thought, yeah, this is good, but I have no idea where it places. And it took me forever to rank, but I eventually decided, and I'm pretty confident now, this is definitely Jukebox the Ghost magnum opus. Cheers. This, it's so good. The theming, best since Let Live. The songs, absolutely incredible. Hey Maud is one of their best tracks, as well as the title track, obviously. The pop and piano rock blend is absolutely on point. The emotional weight is effortless at this point. They don't even need to try and make these songs amazing, and it shows. And it doesn't feel effortless. It doesn't feel like they haven't put effort into it. It just feels like this is easy for them now, and it's brilliant. It's incredibly well done. Razor Glass is just mentally emotional. I think it's actually one of the hardest that a Jukebox the Ghost song hits for me. And they have, you know, everything under the sun and Safe Travels exist. So yeah, just, this is their best, I think. This is definitely their best. And in 12th is an absolute just behemoth of an album that took me hours to rank. Literal hour. I wasn't going to rank this, I'll be real. I was just gonna like leave this at the bottom as a side note and say, yeah, this would have ranked, but like, I'm not gonna bother. But I decided to, because it was fun, and I got there in the end. 12th place, UFO by Camellia. This is 27 songs and 2 hours long. It's pretty big. It's also really good. If you took just like the average quality of song for the album, it probably would average out around in the 30s. But the thing is, you're not just gonna listen to this whole album through on a general basis. It's 27 songs and 2 hours long. And the better half, there is an album's worth of absolutely like 4th place tier songs on here. So averaging it out, I'd say it comes about here. It's a quality album. Again, you'd be hard pressed to like actually get into this whole thing as a whole, but if you just want a really good collection of quality Camellia, this has it. And finally, barely missing out on the top 10, in 11th place is The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. This album's just a masterpiece. I mean, everyone already knows this is a masterpiece. This is a mainstream masterpiece, and it deserves it. It's just a beautiful story about the last days of a cancer patient with really, really powerful emotional weight. It's beautifully done, the story just in general. And it's got some of my favourite songs, full stop. Black Parade and Dead are genuinely up there with my favourite songs of all time. And I just love this album. It's consistent, it's great, it's glorious, it is, you know, it's a masterpiece. This is established fact, it's amazing, go listen to it. Ah, we're finally getting close to the end now, aren't we? We're getting close, well past halfway, 2/3 now. So, next week isn't gonna be the finale, it's not gonna be the top 10. Instead, we're going to have a bonus episode with my top 5 EPs and the honorable mentions. You can skip it if you want, but the top 5 EPs are actually incredible, and some of them do, like, I give them a ranking placement at the end of where, if it was a full album, where it would place on the ranking, and 2 of them are top 10, so, you know, worth a listen. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.
Well, I'll show them all. Watch me.